To me, Cyberpunk 2077 has always been a game about exploration and mysteries. Sometimes we can explore a little bit too far and see things that the developers never intended us to see. Join me today as we go over all the things that the developers have tried to keep hidden from us. And if you do enjoy this content, do leave a like and consider subscribing for more like it. So our first one today is located at this crossroads here in Haywood. As you can see, it's a perfectly normal looking crossroad here. But if we were to venture just below street level, we might be able to find something a little bit hidden here. Yeah, there appears to be loads of these data terminals just scattered all over the place under the floor for absolutely no reason. Now, these models are used in quite a few different things. Sometimes you can see them as fast travel terminals, but yeah, they normally appear next to generators and things like that. But for some reason, there's just a bunch of them hidden under the junction here. Also, just right next to these, if we just come over here and turn around, we can see this little red stain on the floor here. It looks like a developer got a little bit happy here with the painting tool and accidentally painted the floor red. This texture appears nowhere else in the game. It's just this big red smear across the floor. Luckily, it's hidden away from any prying eyes. Now, for our next one here, we are in the Corpo Plaza, and we're going to head over to Militech HQ. It's just inside of Militech here. We'll notice this little balcony. Now, I'm pretty sure this was part of a mission, but it's been a very long time since I've done it, so I can't quite remember. But I believe we actually come here with Jackie at some point. I can't really remember what the mission was about, but these certain lootables here and things like that, which makes me think this is an actual area that we have come to at some point in the game. Let me know in the comments below, because I was trying to look for it, but I couldn't quite remember. Now, there is this little gallery down here. This might make it a little bit more familiar for some folk. Now, if we come down here, it's mainly all open up, but I believe we come up this elevator here, possibly. But yeah, look, these little expositions, including the flathead over here, which I thought was kind of cool. They've got a couple of machine guns at the side as well, which is apparently is a class A1. But yeah, look, they're the shotguns and the pulse rifle there. But I am pretty sure this one is from a mission, but it's just cool to be able to explore it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, with the small ones out of the way, it's now time to plunder the depths of the Arasaka building. And there are some interesting things that we can find. So our first one is on this side of the Arasaka building. If we just head on into here very slowly, we'll come into this gigantic cube room where there appears to be, look, there we go, unlisted levels, Arasaka Tower. Yeah, there's just these two floating chairs here. It's really, really strange. Let me get the scroll speed down here, because the other thing that is here, ladies and gentlemen, is the relic. Yeah, look at that. The relic is actually here. The one that has Johnny's engram on it. Oh, it's really strange. Now, according to this is Saburo's office here, because if we go over to this door here, it does actually say on it, look, Saburo Arasaka's office. So apparently this is his office. Yeah, I think he needs to do some decorating. Oh, and if you're wondering where this door leads to, it goes into nothing. It just goes into a box room. Now, speaking of things that the developers don't want you to see, they probably don't want you to see the trees hanging out the side of the Arasaka building here. Now, there's just a couple of floating little bits of debris. There is actually a reason that it's here. Inside here is the jungle area that we visit later on in the story missions. But yeah, apparently a couple of the trees got very aggressive here and decided to grow outside of the building. So, sticking with the Arasaka building here, you can see there's actually this window pane at the very top. Now, if we just scoot on up to it, up here, we can actually have a quick look inside. Now, some of you might recognize that this is the starting area for the Corpo life path here. Now, we can see quite clearly in there. However, if we go inside here, everything is amiss, because when we turn around, yeah, there's a giant screen on the wall. There's no way we would be able to see into this room, unless this is actually projected onto the glass itself and it is see-through from the other side, but that wouldn't make any sense to me. It's no wonder that the Arasaka Corporation stock is tanking when they build windows like this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this next one, once I show it you, I can't unshow it you, I'm afraid, so be prepared for that. If we go below the floor, down here, just below the Arasaka building, we'll notice that we've got this little box here, this special little box. Now, let's go take a look inside. Oh, what is this, ladies and gentlemen? It's Saboro's office. Yeah, this is where we get taken to with Johnny, as we're watching the big old explosion go off there in the Arasaka Tower. We watch it through this window in a sort of interactable cutscene, and we are strapped to a chair with this techie working on us. Saburo comes in here. Yeah, turns out we're not actually at the top of any tower anywhere. We're just literally deep underground underneath Arasaka HQ. What have you got to say about this?
Really? What now?
Now, sadly, there's not really anything interactable here. Now, you can open this door here, which, yeah, I mean, it leads into the Etherverse. I'm not going to stand out there without no clip. But this is actually where Saburo comes in. Watch out for the flashbang here, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, there you go. He comes through a solid wall somehow and comes in this way to speak to us. I always thought this one was a little bit weird. Kind of ruined it for me. And now I've ruined it for you. Now, this next one here is kind of interesting. If we just go down here, we can see there's this giant big box. Look at that. It goes all the way underground here. That's where the Brooklyn level is. I was corrected. I thought it was Boston last time. No, it's Brooklyn. That's where that level is. But if we go into this big old box over here, we'll notice a certain few boxes down here. Let's go on down to them. Now, this area is actually kind of special. It's rendered in many different times in different forms throughout the game. As you can see here, it says entering area unknown. This is actually rendered in when we speak to Alt Cunningham in different ways with filters over it and things like that. It's actually a gigantic area. And look, each of them has different rooms. We come here as well on a couple of missions with Johnny. I think we also actually end up here as V as well a few times. But yeah, it's not actually located in any Arasaka building whatsoever or anything like that. It's literally just under Pacifica, which is really odd. But yeah, let me know. I can't actually remember what the name for the mission was that we come here as Johnny, but let me know in the comments below. But I've always thought these were really cool because I've always wondered how Arasaka has the ability to make these rocks float like that, because it's so cool. This next one, we're just located here on the border of the Badlands, where the gigantic wall is located. Now, a few of you may have seen that sometimes this texture over here can actually glitch out, and you're able to see through it just a little bit like that. So yeah, that happened to me ages ago, and I always wondered what the heck was up there. Well, if you really want to know, it is actually a tunnel under here. Yes, that's right. It's the end of life path choice, and there's actually a solid floor in here as well. But yeah, this is what we end up coming down if we go with the nomads and go off into the distance with Padab. Now, yeah, look at this. You can actually summon your vehicle in here, which I thought was kind of a fun little detail. So you can actually drive this into the out of bounds area. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you fair warning. At some point, there is a gigantic flashbang that happens. Yeah, even the developers don't want us to see it. Oh, gosh, my driving is absolutely awful. Doesn't help that I'm driving a Porsche across, yeah, very bumpy terrain here. But we do eventually get flashbanged at the very end as we come out. Now, I believe that's actually part of a cutscene. As we get to the end of the tunnel, a giant light starts to appear. Oh, hi, Johnny. But there we go. Look, this is the end of the tunnel, and you can already see that gigantic bright light I was talking about here. So let's just go ahead and take a peek out of here. I'm sorry. Let's get out of the flashbang zone as quickly as we can here. There we go. So you can actually see that the giant lake, well, we can see that the giant lake is here just outside. And what's really interesting is that you can see the stars reflected in it regardless of the time of day. So it just appears to be an actual texture here that's placed on the floor, not an actual water, because you can see there's no ocean sounds or anything like that. But yeah, that's the end of life path. It's just a giant salt flat with a texture over it. Right, ladies and gents, this one is quite far away from Night City itself, where we can see the developers here have been testing out some of the textures. They've drawn this line here in the floor and added a couple of textures to it to see how they can create pathways and stuff like that. There is also another one over here where they've been trying to blend textures together to see how they all work. Look at this. It's kind of interesting to see just how they all do it. But yeah, this is just really out in the middle of nowhere. You can see these are a few pop-in issues as we get this far away from Night City. Man, CDPR do such a good job of hiding these secrets from us, because sometimes, even with the power of being able to cheat, CDPR just say no. But that is all we have time for today. I just want to say a massive shout out to you all for all the support that I've been having on my videos recently. We're so close to getting this channel monetized because of your support. So thank you for that. And if you did enjoy this content, do leave a like and consider subscribing. And until next time, peace.